Mrs. Gable called 911 at 11:47 a.m. on October 17th. Detective Marcus Miller arrived at 12:23 p.m. with a standard missing persons protocol. A 20-year veteran of the Fairfield County Sheriff's Department, Miller had seen it all. Home invasions, abductions, domestic disputes gone wrong, murder-suicides. But this made no sense. I've worked cases where entire families disappeared, Detective Miller told me in an exclusive interview last month. But there's always evidence, always a sign of what happened. A struggle, packed bags, a note, something. He walked through the house with his partner, Detective Lisa Chun, the silence feeling heavier with each step. "Look," he said, pointing to the undisturbed scene. No struggle, no sign of a fight, no forced entry. The security system wasn't even armed, but it also wasn't triggered. They were right in the middle of their lives. David had bill statements spread out on his desk upstairs. Sarah had started a load of laundry that was still sitting wet in the washing machine. It's like they were raptured. The initial sweep revealed something that would become the cornerstone of the mystery. The family's cell phones were all in their usual charging spots. David's work laptop was open on the kitchen counter, showing he'd been paying bills online. The last transaction timestamp was 7:43 p.m. on Tuesday, October 15th. The security cameras that several neighbors had installed after a recent string of car break-ins showed nothing unusual. The Andersons' own doorbell camera captured David arriving home from work at 6:15 p.m. Tuesday evening. It captured Sarah pulling into the driveway at 6:22 p.m. with the kids after Jacob's soccer practice. After that, nothing. No one came. No one left. But here's where it gets weird. Street lights flickered. The image on the security cameras pixelated. Even battery-powered devices, smoke detectors, digital clocks, children's toys, all reset simultaneously. It was subtle, brief, the kind of thing you might not even notice unless you were specifically looking for it. The case was officially classified as a missing persons investigation. Within 48 hours, it became the largest search operation in Fairfield County's history. Search and rescue teams combed through the nearby woods. Divers searched the retention pond at the end of the street. Aviation units used thermal imaging to scan a 20-mile radius. The FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team was called in. They found nothing. But it was what they didn't find that made this case extraordinary. No cell phone pings after 7:43 p.m. on October 15th. All 4 phones went completely silent simultaneously. No credit card activity. No social media posts. No ATM withdrawals. The family's bank accounts were never touched. David's car was in the garage, Sarah's SUV in the driveway. Both sets of keys hung on the hook by the garage door. More importantly, there were no digital footprints of preparation. No suspicious Google searches. No unusual purchases. No contact with anyone outside their normal circle. Sarah had texted her sister at 6:45 p.m. Tuesday evening about weekend plans. David had confirmed a work meeting for Thursday morning. These were not people planning to disappear. The investigation expanded. Background checks revealed a completely ordinary family. No debts beyond a typical mortgage. No affairs. No enemies. No involvement with drugs, gambling, or anything remotely suspicious. David's co-workers described him as reliable and boring in the best possible way. Sarah's fellow teachers said she was the type of person who worried if she was 5 minutes late to anything. The children's teachers reported nothing unusual in their behavior in the days leading up to the disappearance. Then came the interviews with the last people to see them alive. Here's the detail that changes everything. The Andersons didn't disappear alone that Tuesday night. They had hosted a dinner party. Tom and Lisa Brennan, their closest friends and neighbors from 2 houses down, had been invited over for dinner at 5:30 p.m. They brought their 6-year-old daughter, Maya, who was Emily's best friend. The Brennans described a completely normal evening. The adults talked about neighborhood gossip and upcoming Halloween plans while the kids played in the backyard. Sarah had made her famous lasagna, not spaghetti, as investigators initially thought. The cold spaghetti found on the table was actually the Andersons' second dinner of the evening. We left around 8:30, Tom Brennan told investigators. The kids were getting cranky, and Maya had school the next day. David walked us to the door. Sarah hugged Lisa goodbye. Emily and Jacob waved from the living room window as we walked home. Security cameras confirmed this timeline. The Brennans' own doorbell camera showed them arriving home at 8:34 p.m. But here's the twist that investigators kept secret for 2 years. The Brennans reported that during dinner, around 7:15 p.m., David received a phone call that made him go completely pale. He stepped outside to take the call and was gone for nearly 10 minutes. When he came back, both Sarah and David seemed distracted and kept exchanging these worried looks. When Lisa asked if everything was okay, Sarah just said, "David got some unexpected news about work. We'll figure it out." Phone records show David received a call at 7:18 p.m. that lasted 8 minutes and 37 seconds. The number was traced to a payphone in downtown Columbus, 47 miles away. A payphone that, according to city records, had been decommissioned and removed 3 months earlier. A payphone that, according to city records, had been decommissioned and removed 3 months earlier. But the security footage of what happened at that impossible location will shatter everything you think you know about reality. And it's just the beginning of a conspiracy that reaches further than anyone imagined. If this case has you questioning what's possible, you're not alone. Smash that like button if you're ready for answers that will keep you awake tonight. The comments have been incredible. Keep those theories coming. Some of you are getting disturbingly close to the truth. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the final part reveals the biggest bombshells yet. But I'm warning you now, once you know what really happened at Elmbrook Lane, you'll never feel safe answering unknown phone calls again.